Okay, so let's start by writing the following according to the given right here. So if g of x is the integral of the f, that is the area, which means when I derive them, g prime of x is going to be f, and then that f value is going to be simply the y value. So then f prime is going to be the slope at that specific point. And they already gave us our two regions. They said area of the region A and B is 3 to 5 respectively. The word respectively means in that order. So A is going to be 3 and B is going to be 5. So the area of A is 3. Area of B is 5. And then let's actually compute this. My g of 0, that part will be the easier part. G of 0 is equal to, we're plugging into the formula given, the integral from -4 to 0 of f of t dt. And let's see what shape we have. From -4 to 0, how many different shapes are we looking at? We have a triangle and then minus the 3. So for my triangle, let's kind of recall. It is base times the height divided by what? 2. So let's apply that. My base is 3. How tall is the image? Also 3 divided by 2. Minus the one under the x-axis will be the negative portion, minus 3. And the way I would do this problem is by making a common denominator. Instead of 3, let's have 6 over 3. Not 6 over 3, 6 over 2. That's silly. And then when I compute this guy over here, that's going to be 9 over 2. So 9 minus 6 is how many? 3. So our end result is 3 over 2. Getting this one portion is 1 point on the AP test. Now g of 4 is going to be a lot of work. So we have g of 4 is going to be integral from -4 to 0 of f of t dt. Let's analyze the image and see what part we actually have to integrate, which should be only one function. Okay, let's look at the picture. Don't we already have -4 to 0? We already have that, right? Don't we already have 0 to 1? All I need to do is integrate this portion and plug it in for our computation. So I'm going to write out the integral from -4 to, did anyone see a mistake that I made? Top should be 4. That should be 4. I did not plug it into the formula correctly. We already know integral from -4 to 0, f of t dt. And we also know the integral from 0 to 1, because that was given to us. But we do not know. The only part that needs work is the integral from 1 to 4, f of t dt. This is the main portion that we need work for. So let me circle it. So we're focusing on this guy right here. So let's put in what I know so far. So far I know the first integral is 3 over 2 because we found it. The second one was given as how many value? 5. And then I need to find the integral of f of t. And what's nice is they already gave us the equation over here. So let's actually integrate somewhere up on the top. I'm going to integrate this. So the rule is, I take one more power, which is 3, divided by that number. And then we have plus, the next one is, I'm going to leave the 5 alone. One more of that x is 2, divided by 2. And then integral of -4 is simply -4x. And because we have our bounds, do I need plus c? We don't. So let's actually write that down over here. It's going to look a little complex, but I'll simplify it in the end. So I'm going to write -1/3. You don't have to write 1. You could write the x on top. X cubed plus 5 over 2, x squared minus 4x. And that's going to go from 1 to 4. So let's focus on that alone. So let's plug in the upper bound. When I plug in this, let's save this until the very end. I have -1/3, 4 to the power of 3. And then we have plus 5 over 2, 4 squared, minus 4 times 4. Minus, now I need a bracket, because we know everything will be distributed with a negative. Now plug in the lower bound, negative 1/3, 1/3, plus, the 1's really nice, because it makes it very easy. And they like to use that quite often. 5 over 2, 1 squared, minus, are y'all okay if I just write out 4? Because 4 times 1 is 4. Good so far? Okay, like I said at the beginning, simplifying and adding the fractions are going to be the hardest thing. So let's take it step by step. What is 4 to the power of 3? So I'm going to write negative 64 over 3. Everybody should be writing, all the bodies. The next one, what is 4 squared? 16. What is 16 divided by 2? 8. And what is 8 times 5? 40. So just as a little reminder, if you have a denominator, that's divided. If you have a numerator, it is multiplied. I divide it first because the number gets smaller and smaller, okay? The next one is minus 16. And then we're going to distribute at the same time. This is technically negative 1/3, but when I distribute, we get positive 1/3. The next one, when we have 5/2, but when I distribute, we get negative 5/2. And our last one is plus 4. Good with that piece? Let's put the first two that we did not write at the beginning. 3 over 2, and then we had plus 5. All right. I am going to do this in the easy chunks first. So bear with me. What is 5 plus 40? 45. What is 45 minus 16? 29. What is 29 plus 4? Let's write 33. And the number's going to get really pretty, I promise you. The next one. If I have 3/2 and was there one? Okay, if I have 3/2 minus 5/2, how many is that? Negative 1. Do we all see that? Negative 1. So again, the number became very pretty. Let's look at the next one then. If I take negative 64 and I add 1/3, that's really negative 63. Negative 60 divided by 3 is divisible, which is how many? Negative 21. Can we now compute that? No problem. So we have 33 minus 22 is how many? 11. So getting 11 is going to give you 1 point. Integrating correctly is going to give you another point. And substituting it in and knowing that we have top minus the bottom is going to give you 1 point. So this part alone gives you 4 out of 9 points, which is kind of nice. Okay?